Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we have another story time and we're going to be talking about Jameel and Butheynah. Jameel comes from this tribe called the Udra. And Udra is a tribe back in the day that's known to be full of men that are lover boys. They're all romantics. To the point where some guy once asked them, he said, "What is it wrong with your guys as men? Like they're all soft and always in their feelings." And one of Udra's men responded, he said, نحن نرى محاجر عيون لا ترونها. We see a certain glare in the eyes that you guys don't see. We look at a woman through her eyes rather than her, like we view women differently. And from this tribe called the Udra, there's a boy named Jameel. And Jameel was in charge of taking care of the camels. Make sure they're fed, make sure they're drinking. And one time, Jameel was taking the camels to drink, and at the place where the water was, there was a girl named Butheynah who also had her camels. She was bringing them to drink as well. But she was there first. And Jameel's camels, they start mixing in with Butheynah's camels, and they're drinking from the same place. And Butheynah looks at Jameel and she goes, Ya Rajul, hey man, here, take your camels. Why are they mixing in with my camels? And Jameel goes, they're just camels, it's fine, like let them do their thing. And Butheynah goes, no, I do not like my camels mixing with other people's camels. I don't want to mix them up. And Jameel goes, like, why are you giving this attitude? Like, why are you talking like this? And Butheynah goes, why are you talking to me like this? She starts cursing him. He starts cursing her. And they start fighting back and forth. And then they start throwing rocks at each other. She starts throwing rocks. He starts throwing rocks. And then Butheynah, as she's getting closer and throwing rocks, the scarf that was covering her face, it accidentally falls. And what's his face? What's his name? Jameel. Yeah, Jameel. He sees her face. And he pauses. To the point, like, I just saw a scene in my head. I paused as well. Jameel pauses. And he's like, you're throwing rocks at me? Throw whatever you want. You want to curse me? May Allah curse me. Jameel just forgets everything. He forgets what even happened, where he's at. And he just falls in love from the first look. And he wrote this line. He said, وَأَوَّلْ مَا قَادَ الْمَوَدَّةَ بَيْنَنَا بِوَادِ بَغِيضٍ يَا بُثَيْنَةَ سِبَابُ. From the first moment I saw you. Al-mawaddah, like, it's a form of love, from the first time I saw you in that wadi, how do you say wadi in English? Oh yeah, valley. When I saw you in that valley, I just fell in love. Days, months, and years go by, and Jameel is still in love with Butheynah. He couldn't get married to her at the time because they were still really young, and he still hasn't forgotten about her. And the people ask him, like, why are you still in love with this girl? Like, you fought with her, you've only seen her once, like, why are you so obsessed? And he said, علقت الهوى منها وليدا فلم يزل إلى اليوم يمي حبها ويزيد. I was connected to her from since I was in the womb. Like, before I was even created, our souls were tied together. And until this day, my love for her still, like, keeps, like, growing. So don't tell me, oh, I just saw her once. No, I was connected to her in the past life. And Jameel, every time he heard something good about Butheynah, he would write a nice line. But sometimes he would hear things that he didn't like, and he would diss her. He even said once, رَمَى اللَّهُ عَيْنَ بُثَيْنَا بِالْقَضَى. May Allah curse her eyes. And she heard this. And she goes to him. She goes, Enta ya Jameel, like you're writing diss tracks on me? Like you're writing diss lines on me? And he goes, yes, I did say that line. But you know what? I'm also the person that said, يَمُوتُ الْهَوَى مِنِّي إِذَا مَا فَارَقْهَا وَيَحْيَا إِذْ قَابَلْتَهَا فَيَعُودُ. I die when she's not around. And the moment I see her, my soul gets blown back into me. And Butheynah started blushing, and she was like, okay, like, fine. Like, he ate her up with words, bro. He's the Rizzler. He is the Rizzler. Unfortunately, Jameel's poems started becoming very popular amongst all the tribes around them. And that's really bad, because that ruins Butheynah's reputation. Because people start talking, and they're making up rumors like, oh, those two are in a sneaky relationship together. And the parents, Butheynah's parents, to deny those rumors, they went and forced her to marry someone else. So they can be like, oh, you guys think that my daughter is doing this with this guy? You guys are wrong. She's married now. And that was the tradition back then. Every time a poet writes poems about a girl, it just makes her look bad. So the family, to deny the rumors, they make her marry someone else. And Jameel got really upset and devastated and really sick. And he decided to move to a different country. He moved to Egypt. So that way, maybe if he's in a different environment, he could stop thinking about her. But obviously that did not happen. In fact, it became even worse for him. He wrote this line. He said, إني لا أنظر بالوجوه بأسره لا أرى الوجوه فلا أرى إياك قالوا ويخلق 40 مشابها من 40 لا أريد سواك. They say that there's 40 lookalikes of each person. From those 40, I want you. So nothing has changed for him. Jameel decided to move back since moving didn't do anything for him. He moved back and he saw Butheynah again. But when he saw her, this is years after, by the way, and when he saw her, she hasn't changed. She's still as young and beautiful as he always knew her. And he said this line, he says, قريبين مربعنا واحد فكيف كبرت ولم تكبري. So Butheynah and Jameel are like around the same age. So he's saying, how did I get older? Like, look at me. I have the gray hairs coming in, and you still look as young and as beautiful as you always were. And Jameel, after he saw Butheynah again, all those feelings just came back stronger, and he got really sick, and he was on his deathbed pretty much, and he was with a friend. And he told his friend, he said, ما ظنك برجل يشهد إن لا إله إلا الله ولم يقرب الفاحشة قط. His friend answered him, well, the question was, what do you think about a man that believes that there is no God but Allah, and he's never touched a fahisha, he's never done anything bad? And his friend goes, yeah, that man goes to heaven, that man goes to Jannah. But who is that man? And Jameel goes, that's me. And his friend goes, bro, that's not you, bro. Like, come on, all those poems, I'm sure you were involved in some, like sneaky link with Butheynah. And Jameel goes, Wallahi, I've never like touched her except once. I saw her and my heart starting beating really fast. So I grabbed her hand and put it on my heart so it stops beating really fast. And that was the only time I've ever touched her. And there was nothing ever like between us. Like it was just all just poems that I've written. And Jameel dies. And he never got to be with Butheynah. Yeah, there's no happy ending. But the moral of the story is, if you're a poet, never write poems about your lovers. Or if you do, keep them to yourself. Wassalamu alaikum.